Here are the best Wonder Kid right backs in Football Manager 2024. First up, we've got the 16-year-old Croatian Noah Mikic, who you can pick up for around £2.4 million at the start of the game, and he's looking like he's going to be really good at football in the future. What I like about him particularly is the fact that in this save, he has crossing and dribbling 12 already. It's so annoying when you get a really good fullback who hasn't got good stats for crossing and dribbling, because that's what you want, as well as obviously defensive stats. Looking under the bonnet, we can see my scout tells me he's a fairly consistent, a very consistent performer, but could be fairly susceptible to injuries, so something to watch out for. In this save, he's got a potential ability of exactly 150, which just about qualifies him to be a Wonder Kid, and if you look in the pre-game editor, you can see that he's got a range between 130 and 160 out of 200. Elias Jalert, I think that's how you pronounce it, will cost you around 8 million at the start of the game. He's a 20-year-old Dutch fullback who can actually play on both sides. Again, really good dribbling. I like the fact that he's got good teamwork off the ball and really good determination and natural fitness in this save. Probably one that you can get and play straight away in most cases. Fairly consistent performer, could adapt well when it comes to living in another country. He's great. Thiago Santos, this Portuguese kid, will cost you about 11 million quid at the start of the game. I think he's really, really good, right? That tackling, dribbling, crossing, acceleration and pace as well. Natural fitness 14. I mean, there's not much else you could ask for this guy apart from maybe anticipation, which is a bit low. Again, my scout tells me fairly consistent, could adapt well when it comes to living in another country, and of course is a natural in a couple of positions. Filippo Missouri, however, will cost you under £5 million at the start of the game. A potential ability of 152 on this save makes him a decent prospect, and you can see by his attributes here that he's actually quite a well-rounded player already. Physicals, mentals and technicals all pretty decent. Jesus Fortera, £4.4 million, and you will get him at the start of the game. He's a 16-year-old kid, so don't expect him to be amazing straight away, but in this save he has got 15 tackling already, as well as 15 acceleration, aggression, agility, so in some cases I guess you could play him straight away. He's coming out with a 155 potential ability on this particular save, which is reflected here in the star rating my assistant has given him. Arthur next, a Brazilian kid with 158 potential ability on this save. Available for around £8 million at the start of the game. Get him in your sides. Look how good he is already, and look at the amount of positions this guy could play. He's already been capped by Brazil as well. His potential and current ability is reflected in the scout report here. He's balanced, adaptable, consistent, and just overall a good chap. Diogo Spencer will cost you £4 million at the start of the game. He's got a potential ability here of 158 out of 200. Has really good mentality, decent physicals, and great technicals as well. Look at that. Technique is actually 14 and passing 14 as well. He can play on both sides of the pitch. That's quite crucial, especially I think normally when you've got a backup fullback, right? Again, my scout tells me he's a consistent performer, etc, etc, and he's actually available for just £4 million. Elijah Dijkstra, I think that's how you pronounce it, will cost you about £7 million at the start of the game. Really versatile, great at tackling, although there's not much else can be said for him right now. I'm sure he's going to be really, really good. He's just 16, remember. He's actually got a potential ability in this save of 159, which is obviously very good. You can see that reflected in the star rating that my assistant manager has given him down here. And underneath the bonnet, my scout's really not saying much. He's saying he could add a greater consistency to his game, but he's also saying that, look, he's fairly adaptable when it comes to living in another country. So these hidden attributes here are obviously variable, like the normal unhidden attributes, but something to consider definitely before making your purchase. Enoch Mastoris, another 159 potential ability in this particular save, under £10 million you can pick him up for at the start of the game, and he is a centre-back, defensive midfielder, right-back, 17-year-old Dutch wonder kid with a huge future. Underneath the bonnet is where this guy comes alive, right? Consistent performer, a committed individual with bravery who could adapt well, or should adapt well, to living in another country. What a good player he is going to be. Janulo is another really versatile right fullback who will cost around £10 million, I believe, at the start of the game. Again, 159 potential ability on this particular save. He's going to be great. Look at that mentality, look at those technicals, and look at those physicals already at the tender age of 19. Again, underneath the bonnet, he's doing absolute bits. A fairly loyal person, fairly adaptable when it comes to living in another country. Consistent performer. I mean, he can play in several positions. Actually got a release clause of 17.25 million. You can probably get him cheaper than that though. Works really hard and possesses a fair amount of pace, obviously. Malo Gusto we know all about because we've been watching the Premier League, right? That's That's why you'll be paying about 70 million quid to get this guy, so let's just stop talking about him. But he is very, 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 very good. Hector Fort has a potential ability of 162 on this particular save. I just love that name. He can play right back, centre back, left back. He's 6'1". He's got a little bit of work to do technically and mentally, I think it's fair to say, but physically he's doing okay. My scout tells me he's going to be amazing. I mean, look at those star rating and that A- rating that he's given for, I think, this Aston Villa team, I think we are here. Under the bonnet, fairly consistent performer, etc, etc. Could have a problem adapting when it comes to living in another country, so again, do your own research. Connor Bradley, another one we know all about from watching the Premier League, right guys? That's why he'll cost you about 30 million quid upwards. He's gonna be very good. He literally was playing instead of Trent Alexander-Arnold the other day and was great. Let's not bother talking about him, but if you can get him, get him. Into the top 4 now, and there's not a lot between Rico Lewis, who arguably could be described as the best, but again, English tax, expensive. Tino Livramento, who again, English tax, 32 million quid you're going to get this guy for, but it's obviously great. Might have a problem with injuries though, I think, although that doesn't really get picked up in the scout reports. Okay, he's only got 7 out of 20 injury proneness here, so maybe I've made that up. Or maybe it's just my real life bias, because he seems like he's been injured forever in real life, right? And Arnu Martinez, who has a fixed potential ability of 155. Incidentally, Rico Lewis's fixed potential ability was 167. So it's a massive difference. Again, expensive, £37.5 million. Great player, definitely worth getting hold of if you can. But top, for no particular reason, we have put Coyote. Again, quite expensive, 40 million quid. Similar potential to Tino Livramento. Well, the exact same if you look at the pre-game editor, between 150 and 180 potential ability. But we like him because he's got good crossing, good dribbling, good tackling, great determination, good work rate, natural fitness, pace, and stamina. He's got everything you could want in the fullback position. My scout obviously agrees with me that this guy is amazing too. Here's your full list. If you'd like to download it into your brain, hit the Patreon or the join button on YouTube. We have asking prices here on the right hand side, potential ability in the middle. Thank you so much for watching. Most importantly, please hit subscribe. See you soon.